वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते 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 वासुदेवाय।
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good morning. So please see page number 81 for today's quote. The first quote in the page: ask nothing, want nothing in return. Give what you have to give, it will come back to you. But do not think of that now. It will come back multiplied 1,000-fold. But the attention must not be on that. Yet have the power to give. Give and there it ends. Ask, therefore, nothing in return. But the more you give, the more will come to you. The quicker you can empty the air out of this room, the quicker it will be filled up by the external air. Ask, therefore, nothing in return, but the more you give, the more will come to you. But we don't believe in it. No, these are all spiritual laws. Just as we make laws to govern our society, there are certain laws which are called spiritual laws, ultimate truths or divine laws. We are not able to read that law on the wall. That is the problem. There is so much of confusion in the society. భగవంతుడు కొన్ని చట్టాలు చేశాడు. These are all the universal truths. Okay, if you don't know those truths, and then problem life definitely becomes more complicated. Law of karma, for example, they say in our dharma that God is actually Sakshi. Okay, he only has written this law of karma and then he has retired, as it were. Mahatma Gandhi said this. భగవంతుడు ఈ లా ఆఫ్ కర్మను రాసి రిటైర్ అయిపోయాడండి. ఇంకా దిస్ ఇస్ ద లా. ఓకే, ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ దే సే, If you don't know the law, that's not an excuse. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. Sometime back we had a car, old ambassador car. So that time we were not knowing that when you sell your vehicle actually to somebody, immediately you should ensure that actually it gets transferred into his name. No, name also should change. Otherwise, he is driving your vehicle, you are sold, he has given you money, but it is in your name still. It met with an accident, and then you will be penalized. Hmm? You have handed over the vehicle, you have taken money, but you are not actually transferred it to his name. Still, the vehicle is in your name, and he also has not done it. Okay, he has not got it, he has not done it in his name. Same thing happened with our vehicle. We sold the vehicle. We thought actually that man, gentleman would get it transferred in his name. But we were not knowing that we should do it actually. The responsibility of the seller, not the actual purchaser more. And we thought actually it was his responsibility. Ultimately, he met with an accident. So at the time of accident, the vehicle was registered in Mutt's name. And we had to go to court. And to pay compensation for the victim. And the judge said that ignorance of law is no excuse. As a citizen of the country, you ought to have known. It's the same thing. Like these divine laws are also law of karma. God has written the law of karma, and then He has given us freedom. You do whatever you want. Good action, good fruit, good result. Bad action, bad fruit, bad result. I am not accountable for your actions. So whenever you act, you should see what kind of consequence it is going to bring, what kind of result it is going to bring. If your action is a negative one, a bad one, evil one, the result will naturally be an evil result, negative result. If it is a good action, naturally the result will be positive and good. And Swamiji here is asking us to give. Why should we give? In his Karma Yoga lectures, he told, it is the giver who is blessed, not the receiver. ఇచ్చినవాడు దానం చేసినవాడు గొప్పవాడు పుణ్యాత్ముడు అవుతాడు, వాడికి వస్తుంది మెరిట్, తీసుకున్నవాడు కాదు. So if you have an opportunity to give something, to donate something, deem it as a privilege, deem it as a beautiful opportunity. Today there are so many such people in the world who are very rich. Okay, so much of money they have accumulated, fortune smiled on them. Maybe in a previous birth, previous existence, they had done a lot of merit and punya. This time actually they were just born into rich families. So much is there for them to acquire punya and merit. Why you should acquire punya? In according to Sanatana Dharma, there is reincarnation. So from here, human being onwards, only if you acquire sufficient amount of merit or punya, then only you will get again human birth. Forget about nirvana, forget about kaivalya, coming out of the cycle of life and death. ఈ జన్మ మృత్యు సంసార చక్రం నుంచి బయటపడడం వదిలిపెడదాం. మళ్ళీ మనుష్య జన్మ రావాలన్నా కూడా నీలో పుణ్యం బాగా అక్యుములేట్ చేసుకుంటేనే మనుష్య జన్మ వస్తుంది, లేకపోతే అగైన్ యూ విల్ గో బ్యాక్ టు యానిమల్ బర్త్స్. So the soul is eternal, immortal, the journey continues. So hereafter, if you just want to come out of the cycle, you have to help others, you have to serve others, you have to feel for others. Because in a way, all life is interconnected. All other life is suffering, I alone want to be happy. It cannot happen like that. No. You should have some concern for other life. Every human being should have that concern. Through me, some good should happen to other lives. Through me, some happiness should come to other life, at least to fellow human beings. A little, because we are too small. Suppose if I have an ambition that I want to serve the entire 7.5 or 8 billion human population, will it be that possible? After all, I am also a human mortal. You need not be that ambitious. But at least to few people who are around me, can I give some joy? Can I give some support? Can I give some help? You need to think in those lines. That is for your benefit ultimately, because that leads to your expansion. Your consciousness will expand. And you will feel good about yourself from within. And slowly, you will come closer to the truth. That's why actually giving is insisted upon in every religion. I think in Islam also during Ramjan period, they ask us, to help others, to serve others. Jakat, I think they call that something. Where you have to, that particular period, you have to practice some charity. You have to help some poor people. Food of your community, of people who are immediately around you. So it is there in every religion. Why that is insisted? Because that's how actually you will expand your consciousness and you will come closer to the truth. So these are all spiritual laws. ఆధ్యాత్మిక నియమాలు. ఈ నియమాలను తెలుసుకుని మనం కనుక జీవితాన్ని తీర్చిదిద్దుకుంటే then life becomes beautiful, meaningful, and you will have true joy and peace and happiness from within. So today we are leading as if we are totally not connected to each other like that. Okay, for example, huge population is there. Everybody has become a kind of island. But everybody should have some concern for his or her fellow human beings. And once you have that kind of attitude, naturally the societies will prosper. There will be more peace, more fulfillment, and more joy. Otherwise, what happens? The opposite happens. When you become intensely self-centered, when you think that actually I have nothing to do with other lives, only myself and the people immediately around me, that means my family members, are the only people towards whom I have responsibility, and the rest of the people are aliens to me, then corruption, exploitation, everything will happen. It's part of Indian society, or for the matter, whole world is like that. So these are the spiritual laws. The sooner you discover them, the better. ఈ ఆధ్యాత్మిక నియమాలు తెలుసుకున్న వాళ్ళకు మాత్రమే జీవితం యొక్క పరమార్థం అర్థమవుతుంది. వాళ్ళు మాత్రమే దే విల్ బీ ఏబుల్ టు మేక్ ద బెస్ట్ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వరల్డ్ అండ్ అల్టిమేట్లీ దే విల్ అటైన్ టు ద ట్రూత్. అది తెలియకపోవడం వలన చాలామంది చాలా విధాలుగా ఇబ్బంది పడుతున్నారు. సో బట్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ థాట్ టు అస్ బికాస్ దట్ ఈస్ సెట్ aside and kept aside in our country particularly. They are saying that there are religious things, okay, but there are laws, ultimate truths. There is as much science as there is science in other material things. They are also science only, but we think actually they are beliefs. They are not beliefs. The spiritual rules, niyamas, laws actually enacted by God Himself. But as you don't pay any attention to these laws, life becomes a kind of mess. Earlier also I told you, for example, when you purchase new cell phone, or for the matter any gadget, you get a user manual also, right? Avuna kada? If you operate a machine without reading user manual, what happens accidentally if you operate that gadget? It will go. But today, particularly such sophisticated gadgets are coming. If you start operating them without reading the manual, most of the times, you will spoil the gadget. The same way, God actually has given us the user manual in the form of scriptures when He has created this life. మనిషిని సృష్టించిన తర్వాత నువ్వు ఎలా చేయాలి, ఈ జీవితాన్ని ఎలా జీవించాలన్న దానికి సంబంధించి, నువ్వు ఏమి చేయొచ్చు ఏమి చేయకూడదు దానికి సంబంధించి He has created the scriptures, శాస్త్రాలు. The scriptures are a kind of user manuals to operate this machine. But we are operating this machine without reading that user manual. That's why life has become so complex and a kind of a mess in the world. So don't think that they're just beliefs. కేవలం నమ్మకాలు కాదు, అవి భగవంతుడి యొక్క నియమాలు. ఆ నియమాలు తెలుసుకొని మన జీవితాన్ని తీర్చిదిద్దుకుంటే life becomes beautiful. Thank you this much for today.